हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल। भाई कैसे हो तुम सब लोग? यू नो, एट दिस पॉइंट आई थिंक गवर्नमेंट को स्टूडेंट से पंगे नहीं लेने चाहिए, बिकॉज वी नो दिस कंट्री इज नॉट नार्निया एंड हम लोग बहुत पहले ही क्लोजेट के बाहर आ चुके हैं। अंडर पॉक्सो एक्ट पेनिट्रेटिव सेक्सुअल असॉल्ट की सजा इज मिनिमम 10 years ऑफ जेल विच कैन बी एक्सटेंडेड अप टू लाइफ इम्प्रिजनमेंट। बट जब माइनर सी गवर्नमेंट की गांड मार रही हो तो क्या कर सकते हैं हम लोग? एवरीवन सेज दैट Gen Z is the worst generation ever, but asking questions, accountability and answers is the worst thing to do. Then honestly maybe we are. अगर तुम लोगों ने Suits देखा है, then a government is like sportsmen and we are like the guys he ever got in business with. You know, I honestly think that Hitler was way better than our current leader because at least he meet with journalists and give interviews. Imagine spending 5 years of your life studying law, 5 years of exams, internship, moots, assignments, and finally graduating from one of the most prestigious India's law university. And then when you are supposed to enter your legal profession, you are told you cannot even enroll as an advocate. Not because you cheated, not because you committed a crime, not because you failed your degree, but because students from your batch protested against inviting CGI to their convocation. And that is what happened recently at Nalsar. And yes, the Bar Council of India eventually withdrew their decision, but honestly, the withdrawal does not make the original decision okay. Because the question isn't only what happened afterwards. The question is, how can even anyone think that this was an acceptable response to student dissent in the first place? Let's start from the beginning. Student from Nalsar University objected CGI Suryakant invited as the chief guest for their convocation. Their objection wasn't simply we don't like this guy. The students' opposition was connected to acts and actions by the CGI during the CGP protest, way he called us cockroaches, and the values that we are being taught as future lawyers being inconsistent. And whatever your opinion of their reasoning is, here's the important part. They protested, they expressed disagreement, they asked their university to reconsider the invitation, and that's it. They weren't saying that the constitution should be abolished, they weren't overthrowing the judiciary, they weren't burning down the university. They were students saying, we don't think this person represents the values we want our convocation to represent. फिर इसी जगह पे Bar Council of India stepped in. On August 13, BCI initially directed the State Bar Council not to enroll the entire 2026 batch graduating from the Nalsar University until further orders. सोचो इसके बारे में 2 सेकेंड। पूरा entire batch, जो स्टूडेंट्स जिन्होंने वो प्रोटेस्ट ऑर्गेनाइज कराया था, ना ही वो स्टूडेंट्स जिन्होंने वो लेटर साइन किया था, ना ही वो स्टूडेंट्स जिन्होंने सिर्फ कोई रूल ब्रेक किया था, एंटायर ग्रेजुएटिंग बैच. That is where this becomes absolutely insane. Imagine you are a Nalsar student who has nothing to do with the protest. You graduated, you did your work, you stayed completely out of the controversy. Suddenly you are being told, सॉरी भाई, तुम एज एन एडवोकेट इनरोल नहीं हो सकते क्योंकि तुम्हारे बैच ने प्रोटेस्ट किया था. हाउ इज दैट जस्टिस? हाउ इज दैट प्रोपोर्शनल? एंड मोर इम्पॉर्टेंटली, हाउ इज दैट कंसिस्टेंट विद द बेसिक प्रिंसिपल ऑफ लॉ? We constantly talk about individual responsibility. We talk about due process. We talk about natural justice. We talk about punishment being proportionate to the offense. But यहाँ पे हर चीज look like एक ग्रुप ने प्रोटेस्ट किया, पूरे बैच को उसकी सजा मिलेगी. That is collective punishment. And collective punishment is precisely the kind of thing legal institutions should be extremely careful about. And this is the part that genuinely gets me. वो law students है, people who have spent years studying constitutional rights, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, the right to dissent, judicial independence, due process, natural justice. And when these students actually exercise disagreement against a powerful constitutional authority, उन लोगों को क्या रिस्पॉन्स मिलता है? तुम्हें लीगल प्रोफेशन में एंटर ही नहीं करने दिया जाएगा. आयरनी समझ रहे हो तुम लोग? हम लोग लॉ स्टूडेंट्स को बोलते हैं, लर्न टू क्वेश्चन पावर, लर्न टू चैलेंज अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल एक्शंस, लर्न दैट नोबडी इज अबव द लॉ, लर्न दैट डिसेंट इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ द डेमोक्रेसी. बट द मोमेंट वी स्टार्ट क्वेश्चनिंग अ पावरफुल अथॉरिटी, सडनली हमारा पूरा प्रोफेशनल फ्यूचर रिस्क पे लगा दिया गया. That's not a great lesson in constitutionalism. That's a lesson to fear. And if future lawyers learn that disagreeing with powerful people can cost them their careers, then what exactly are we expecting them to do when they are actually practicing law? Now I am pretty sure तुम में से कोई बोलेगा भाई स्टूडेंट्स तो CGI की बेइज्जती कर रहे थे, they disrespected the Chief Justice of India. Okay, let's assume for the sake of the argument that their protest was disrespectful. Let's assume that their language was inappropriate. Let's assume they handled the disagreement very badly. Fine. Then investigate the specific conduct. If someone broke a law, prosecute them according to the law. If someone violated the university's rule, follow the university's disciplinary procedure. If somebody engaged in misconduct, establish it through due process. But don't punish an entire graduating class, because disagreement with CGI isn't automatically contempt of court. Disagreement with the judge is not automatically a crime, and criticism of a public institution is not automatically an attack on the institution itself. In a democracy, constitutional authorities are supposed to be powerful, but they are not supposed to be untouchable. And then suddenly something interesting happened. BCI backed down. The council modified its earlier direction and said that all 2026 NALSAR graduates would be entitled to seek enrollment with the State Bar Council of their choice. They also said that no student should suffer for something they weren't responsible for. And later, the BCI chairman, the proceeding against the entire 2026 batch were being closed altogether. अच्छी बात है ये, वो एक सही डिसीजन था. बट हेयर्स वेयर आई डिसएग्री विद द पीपल हु से वेल अब डिसीजन विड्रॉन हो चुका है, क्या दिक्कत है? नहीं. द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट द थ्रेट एग्जिस्टेड इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस, एंड that is the reason why I think this story is not about NALSAR. It's about something much bigger. What happens to dissent when the person being criticized is powerful? Because protesting against politicians is considered democracy. Protesting against government policies is considered democracy. Protesting against universities administration can be considered democracy. But what happens when students protest against a judge? Do we actually change the definition? Because honestly वो एक dangerous territory है. The judiciary deserves respect. Absolutely. The CGI deserves institutional respect, but respect for an institution does not mean blind obedience to every individual occupying that institution. You can respect Supreme Court and still criticize a judgment. You can respect the office of the Chief Justice and still disagree with something that Chief Justice says. तुम लोग believe कर सकते हो in judicial independence and still demand accountability. Those aren't contradictions. That's democracy. Here's my question. If future lawyers can't peacefully disagree with powerful constitutional authorities, if students can fear for criticizing people in power, एक पूरे बैच को सस्पिशन के अंदर डाल दिया जाता है because of some people, then what exactly are we teaching them? Are we teaching them know the law, or are we teaching them ऐसा क्या बोलना और करना जिससे कोई बंदा जो पावर में हो वो ऑफेंड ना हो? Because those two are completely different legal systems. And personally मैं एक ऐसी कंट्री में रहना ज़्यादा प्रेफर करूँगा जहाँ पे एक स्टूडेंट बोल सकता है कि सर आई डिसएग्री विद यू, other than a student thinking if I say this I will lose my career. With this I rest my case, my lord, on this topic. Thank you so much everyone for watching. Bye.